Hello everyone, Anna from Savvy Cat Realty here today to talk to you about cost of living in Portugal. And today I am going to have my Savvy representatives join me so we are able to discuss the differences between different areas in Portugal and how that affects the cost of living. Useful. We are now going to be going a bit more about the internet and phone costs question. I'm going to start. So I have fiber internet here at home. It comes connected. That's one of the things I find very annoying here is that for you to get a proper internet connection, you have to buy the TV too. So I barely use TV, and I have a bunch of channels, like 150 channels that I don't even use, and I have to have because I cannot get fiber internet otherwise. At the moment, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but not even the other services. You cannot purchase them separately. Usually, the package that we all have, it's cell phone and TV and phone included. So you have to cell phone, fixed phone, and how do you say the home phone that you cannot say?
Yeah, you have to have the fixed phone, so the landline, and then you have to have the TV and the internet. So they usually come the three together, and then you can add the cell phones. So what I have at the moment, I have a mail package because that's the ones that have the fiber rights here in the place I am. And I have those three, and then I have also 3 cell phones associated with this. They are not limited, but they have more than enough to have, like, I don't know, 20,000 minutes and 9 gigabytes of internet per month, something like that. 10 gigabytes, 11 gigabytes, something like that. And because my brothers are together with me because it's much cheaper to have everything in a package. And I pay around 79 euros per month for everything. So 3 cell phones, internet, TV, and land phone. And I don't use neither the TV or land phone, but I have to have them. So, yeah. In regards to
cheaper than separating things.
Yes. All my agents have company phones, and they have unlimited internet and calls, and each phone costs about 30 euros. So, but these are
but this is specific.
I think for privates are a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
And that's to do with the amount of mobile data that we need per month.
Mm.
Because the regular plans that they have for your smartphone already includes data for apps like Facebook and Instagram and others. So at the end of the day, you don't need that much internet for your daily basis. But for work, as we depend on our smartphone, yeah, that would be a nice plan for 30 euros.
Yes. So I'm guessing most of the people are doing something similar. It's very common here that you get together with family or friends to get the plan together and spend less. So I don't know how you guys are going around the whole communications part.
I'm the only one, I guess, that it's on my own. I like freedom. I'm an independent woman. So I pay 50 euros for cell phone and for internet and the landline as well. And the thing that we talked a little bit about the historical areas that you don't have so much internet connection. So let me tell you, I live in the center of Lisbon and I cannot get access to fiber. So it's really annoying. I have a lot of bad communication sometimes. So yeah, there are a lot of gaps sometimes, but it's really quick. So the internet makes like a reset, and then it's okay. But if you are in a call or if you are doing something that really needs the internet, like I do, it's really, it can get really annoying. But other than that, I think the prices are more or less the same. It only depends on the company that you.
Yeah, the prices are the same for sure.
And you are limited to the company that's covering your area. So sometimes you can get a good deal and a good internet service with a provider or a company in one area, but then if you go to another region, the same company doesn't cover it enough, or they don't have a good service there. So it's you need to ask around what's the service that people use more there, and then do the purchase, because it's it depends a lot.
Personally, I find that Vodafone and Mel are usually the ones that have the best fiber coverage. My mother has Noj in her house in Porto, and it has a bunch of problems. I haven't been, honestly, I'm not, when I go there, I go crazy with the internet. Unless I have it connected directly by fiber, it's constantly failing. And we did not have that problem back when she had Mel or Vodafone, because we had all of them. But yes, just the rent. And yes, I think the prices for a single home and a single phone actually between 30 and 40 euros. I don't know if that's what you have been paying, Erika.
Can you repeat the question?
Between 30 and 40 euros, more or less what you have been paying for your internet and phone service?
Almost 50, yeah.
Almost 50. Okay, we're not getting a good deal.
No, not definitely.
You're definitely not getting a good deal. So, how are you guys, Diana, João, and...
Yeah. In my case, I can say that I have the TV service and 2 phones, and of course the landline, which is mandatory. And I pay around, like you said, around 78. It depends on the usage of the data. Of course, I have 2 kids, and sometimes we have to use it outside when we're in the car and all day watch the YouTube videos and all of that. So sometimes I go a bit up 80 euros per month, but normally it's around 70, 78 maximum. But actually my parents do have TV and internet and the landline, and they pay like 35 euros. They just don't have the phones, but it's like you said, it's another operator. In that case, it's Novo. I think that's the name, and it's not very. They have a lot of problems with it. So comparing to mine, I have Mel. So and I've been okay throughout the months that I have the service. Yeah.
Mel are the ones that own the lines here in Caldas. And what happened with these smaller operators is usually that they rent the lines from the big companies, and usually the big companies that have the fiber installed are either Vodafone or Mel. So it's probably better to go with these 2 if you are looking for fast internet connection. Back when I was living on my own in Aveiro, which is like 10 years, 8 years ago, I paid 30 euros for fiber internet. That was a package, like they call it TV Net Watch, so TV, internet, and landline. But I'm guessing they raised the prices a lot given what Erika is paying.
Yeah, but definitely I haven't checked this situation in a long time, and probably something needs to be renegotiated. So renegotiate.
You have to negotiate.
So yeah,
definitely. Well, how long do you have the service?
3 years, I guess. So,
that's another thing.
So it's time. Yeah. It's time to call them.
Where they always make you do exclusivity contracts for like 2 years. It's so hard to get something without the 2-year contract here in Portugal. and it's very, very hard to get out of those goddamn contracts. Usually, the best way is to find someone to take over your service and change to their address, because other than that, it's a real headache to get rid of them, and it's almost impossible to find services without fidelization. And when you do, they tend to be much, much more expensive because of that.
Yeah. But I heard
I can
they
also
are trying to change the law about that. I think they are going to make that. They are trying to put a bill to make those kind of proposals illegal. So I don't know if that's going to change or not.
We'll see.
Yeah, I can say that when I moved to Caldas, I've been having the service from Mel for quite a while now, at least 5 years, and so I was no longer fidelized when I moved to Caldas, and they asked me to pay about 300 euros for the changing of the address. For the service to be in the new address, they asked me for 300 euros. So we decided to cancel the service and then have a new contract so that we could so that we wouldn't have to pay the 300 euros. But in this case, I had another 2 years of fidelization.
Yeah,
but that's how it works.
So Glenn is asking about the 5G in Lisbon. I don't think it has been installed. It's being installed for cell towers, but you can find it in private routers, for example, because my contract is relatively new. I made this contract back in January or something. And because of that, I have new model routers, and I already have 5G at home. But when it comes to the public antennas, I don't know if they are already ready. I don't think so, Erika.
That's why I was a little bit scarce a few minutes ago, because I was researching, because I didn't know as well. So I found the website, and I wanted to share here in the comments, but I don't know why I cannot share, so I will leave it there in the future. But what I figured out is that it depends on the company, and it's Lisbon. It's the only place that has more coverage of 5G. The rest of the country doesn't look like they have at all anything, and it's more Mel and Nós. Vodafone doesn't have any.
Yeah, and
so you could see, like, it has a point, really small point near the airport. Yeah.
Okay. So Shell is asking how the internet connection is in central Portugal. It depends a lot on the area. The medium-sized cities are usually okay. If you go a bit more off-grid, you won't have fiber. You will have the connection of the ADSL and satellite connection.
And sometimes even now they have a new thing that it's like a card, like your cell phone card, but they put it on the router, and you can make you can have internet like that. That's my mother lives in a village in the center, and that's the only way that she can have internet connection. It's like that, but it can get really bad, and depending on the weather as well. If it's a really windy day or rainy day, it's weird, but you don't have a good connection. So yeah, it depends.
Yes, I actually use that kind of routers. They call it the mobile routers, like a small thing that you put a phone card in, because I'm always moving around, and it's practical to have that. And at the moment, they used to only have contracts for that, like you could buy for a month or make a contract like you do for yourself. But at the moment, it's possible to buy a discardable and chargeable internet service like that. So, and the costs of, I know the Vodafone has one that costs 15 euros for 15 days. So it's very useful if you're here on vacation to just have internet, and it's unlimited. It doesn't have the best speed, but it works, and you can even stream and watch Netflix with it. It just may not be as good as fiber, of course, but I didn't have much problems. But of course, it will also depend on the connection of the antenna in the area you are in.
I can give you example, for example, from behind the mountains on Vila Real area, for example. We have a house there, and we have pretty good coverage in smartphone and internet, despite being an ADSL service, not optical fiber, because in the interior of Portugal, not all villas receive optical fiber. So the solution is to put an antenna for the television and use mobile data for the internet connection on your smartphone, or as Anna said, the mobile routers. The thing is that when you are in these areas, how much lower these villas are, worse is the connection of the phone signal, for example, or from your mobile data. My villa is at 600 meters of height, and we have a good connection. But several other villas around drop that are 400 meters high, for example, start to lose signal when you go to these places.
So, João, how has been your experience with the phone and internet service there in the Algarve?
So I have a service of TV, landline, and internet. I don't pay for the cell phones because I was smart enough to put them on my girlfriend's parent account, because if you have because if you compare my situation with Erica, I pay around 30 to 35 euros for this service, and I have optical fiber, and I have a really good connection in terms of speed in my package. I have a service with NOS, because where I live in Albufeira, there's no service from Mel. There are only some areas that have the service, but in my area only NOS has the service, and the connection it's good. But when you have a service of TV, internet, and landline, telephone, if you want to add at least one cell phone, one card with mobile data and unlimited calls to other people, you need to pay at least 10 to 15 euros per month per card, per SIM card. So when you are a couple, that will be around an extra of 20 to 30 euros more in your bill of telecommunications. So if you have the chance to put your SIM cards in other person's bill that already has that service, that will decrease the amount, because if you have more service, it will get cheaper. So just for one or two cell phones, it will be expensive. You'll end up paying 20 to 25 more in your telecommunications bill. So it's important to try to find these deals with someone, with your friends or with your family, because putting all together in just one bill, it will help you save at least 20 euros per month.
Yes, and on that note, usually what you said is right. Like the first mobile phone that you add to the package is usually between 20 and 30 euros, depending on the service you want to get. So if it's limited or not, and all of that. And then the more phones you add, the cheaper it will get, and it usually goes down to like 10 euros per phone and so on. So it is much cheaper to go together with someone else that already has the package, like João was saying. So, Nuno, you were saying about Vila Real, but you are also living in Porto. I'm guessing you have no issues in Porto with the internet and phone service.
I have no issues. I've tried all the companies that provide services in Porto. In my particular opinion, the best services are the fiber connections of Mel and Vodafone. And I think that the difference in quality to the other company that we have, it's called Nosh. It's the type of installation that they do in our houses, because with Vodafone and Mel, the fiber enters in your house, so it's better service. The price are the same for all the companies. I pay 55 euros depending, because I have always extra internet for the full package. Internet, television, telephone, and 2 smartphones. Altogether, I pay 50 to 55 euros a month. And the service is perfect in Portugal. I've never had problems with it. The card from no, actually, my smartphone at the moment, my SIM card is from Vodafone too. But yeah, the previous one from Mel worked perfectly too.
And Yolanda,
so regarding that, we have no problems here.
Yolanda is asking if having a good self-service and the internet is important. Should I not think about living too far from the major cities? That's not exactly the case. For example, in my father's village, which is a very, very small location, there is great internet and phone service, because the fiber line that crosses to Aveiro to Porto goes under it. So we have really great service there. But it will depend a lot, and the only way that you really can know if a smaller location has proper internet service is to actually talk to the locals and figure these kind of things out. So
you can always
also ask
the providers.
yeah, but they usually tend to be a bit positive about it.
Yeah, but if you give the postal code, if you give the right postal code, they can tell you exactly if
they will tell you what kind of service they have, if they have fiber or not. Of course, if you have fiber, it means you will have no connections problems.
But it's better to ask locals, in my opinion. Like, go to the places that you like most and ask people around what's the best company provider there and what's the internet speed or accessibility.
Or work with a representative of Savvy Cat, and we will figure all of that for you. Yeah. Okay, so I think this more or less covers everything on communication.